Welcome to Badass in Action, the show that ignites your inner fire and propels you toward your epic goals. I'm Melanie Browning, delivering raw interviews, game-changing stories, and mindset hacks to keep you moving. Get ready, it's go time. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Badass in Action. Today, I have a true badass. Michele Christopher is an executive coach who works with high-performing leaders and entrepreneurs on clarity, decision-making, and how their thinking impacts performance. If you help with enunciation, I definitely...
I can coach you on that.
That would be wonderful. I'm sure it's a mindset thing, so yes. Her work blends neuroscience-informed insight with practical awareness tools to help leaders stop overthinking, trust themselves, and lead with ease instead of pressure. Welcome, Michele. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm excited to be here, so thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You are my first out-of-state guest. I just want to, that's so exciting. That's kind of a dream of mine to really branch out and everything. So I'm so happy that you're visiting and that this works out. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time while being in the nice warm area. I want to jump right in and ask about your background in coaching and when you started your own coaching business.
So I officially, registered name, started my coaching business about 4 years ago, but I have been coaching and mentoring for decades. So I have 25 years of technology experience. I was a former technology executive, and I quit that to go coaching full-time about 4 years ago.
Now that sounds like, at least on paper, sounds like a huge shift. Was that a big shift for you? And if so, how did you navigate that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was a very big. I mean, I went from having a team that would manage me. You know, every Monday I would show up and I had an executive assistant, I had a chief of staff, I had my schedule completely laid out for me, and then going to an entrepreneur where I am responsible for myself. It was a big shift. It took a minute.
Yeah. And I'm super curious, how long before were you dreaming of starting your own business, and how long did it take to finally maybe not really do it, but commit to yourself that you were going to move in that direction?
It was a really interesting journey, and I kind of felt the pull, over decades. I mean, there were things that were happening at work where I would be on a big project, and because I got to work in technology and I worked at a very large firm, I got to do really exciting technology projects. And so that was really fun. But what I found to be most rewarding for me was the push that I would do to people and believe in them before they believed in themselves and what they could accomplish. And it was that's what gave me the high. And that's when I realized that's really my gift. So I've had, throughout my career, I had multiple things that have happened that's been pulling me into this, towards this. And then COVID happened. And that was really interesting, too, because I am a hyperachiever. I'm a high achiever. I am a perfectionist. I have all of the things. I was my first client. When COVID hit, my brain is fast and chaotic and busy. And all of a sudden, everything stopped with COVID, but my brain didn't. And so I'm like, what is all of this? So all these fears started coming up, imposter syndrome. The stuff that had been with me, that had been pushing me to be that hyperachiever, showed up in my face, and I had to deal with it. So I hired a coach to help me manage my brain. And then after working with her for a while, I was like, what is this? What did she do to me? What was this voodoo?
Isn't it
magic?
Crazy, the box that we're pulled out of
Yes.
when we do coaching? Because after that, it's there's no way I can fit back in there. And
Yeah.
And I love how you describe the high that you get from being with others, seeing what other people can do. I used to, when I was working, I worked on a manufacturing company. It was just late at night doing the things, and everyone's just raw. Yeah. And then being able to ask them if money were an object, because that was normally their a big hang up for us in the industry, what would you be doing? And then people's faces would light up. So just being able to speak to that and hear that, and then I love that. And that's a true testament to, when you feel that inside, I believe that's something that you're in alignment with, and it's a good thing to pursue.
Yeah. I think that was very well said, too. I don't think that people understand. People often ask when they're feeling lost or when they're like, I don't know what I should do next with my life, or, they come to those crossroads because they lose that spark, that authentic alignment. Because when you are authentically aligned and doing the things you're supposed to do, you're on fire.
Yes.
Like, you're on fire. And you could be working, in a manufacturing plant. It could be anything. It could be coaching.
It's like what you're saying, when in manufacturing, I finally promoted, and that's where I enjoyed it. Like, I was able to help people and help with their mindset at midnight when we're slugging heavy things around. So yeah, absolutely. There's a place. How, with the clients that you attract, like the high performance, is there a specific clientele that you work with? Is it business related people, or is it people across, like, doing anything? What is kind of, do you have a niche, or what is it specifically?
It's really high achievers. I say that I'm an executive coach, but I don't want people to get worried like, oh, well, she's so elevated, because it's really the mind, it's the people, it's those hyperachievers, those people that are always trying to accomplish more, those who push the goalpost. Once they accomplish something, they don't stop and celebrate themselves. It's that brain that I love to work with. That's more like my client, not so much like, because I work with founders, entrepreneurs, I work with business people, W-2s, all the things.
So when a high performer comes to you, what typically either does it look like, or what do they specifically come to you for? In general, like, because I know normally you can kind of get a feeling, oh, they're coming for this, but maybe it's something else, or maybe they just really, there's, what are the blocks that maybe they have, and what they come to you for? So
I get a lot of, I need to, like, something's missing, like, like the spark has died. I get people who've lost their confidence, like they just don't feel like they're confident anymore. Some I get like, I just need help with this situation or this circumstance. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to come in and change your life. Like, I am a full life coach, because as humans, we are pattern beings. The way that we do one thing is the way we do everything. So if I come in and help you tweak this, then it's going to change your whole life. Your whole life elevates, not just the one thing that you asked for. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do the people coming to you know that and accept that well? Or is it a surprise to some people that, Oh, I think it's always a surprise, because they always think, if I could just solve this one thing, I'm going to be happy. If just this one circumstance was different. And oftentimes their circumstance never changes. Yeah. But their happiness, like, I measure it. I measure all of my client relationships, and their happiness is exponentially greater, even if the circumstance does not change. That's powerful right there. Yeah. That's something that, definitely take note of that, because it is. And, it's kind of funny, because I feel like I go through my life of times of really wanting the big thing, and then other times not. And, and I think a lot of it's chasing something completely different, so that's super powerful. And I have learned that with the help of coaches. Yeah. That it's not the thing. There's something else there underlying that's being chased. But also, it's really fun to get those big things that you are after. And, to me, I've kind of found a peace with that, in that that's something calling me to something, maybe to get it, but also to grow and to become a better version of myself, whatever better is to me. Yeah. So, what are like any, like, most powerful transformations or tips that you have for someone wanting to find more happiness in life? One of the things that I teach my clients is, it's not so much like I'm here to motivate you, as much as I want to show you your brain. So you can actually see what your brain is offering you. Your brain is a sentence factory. It just creates sentences all day long. And then you have to decide, you get to decide which ones you want to focus on. But so many people are just living unconsciously, like they're just in autopilot and just letting their back brain, just run the show. And that's like having a factory run by the workers with no management, no strategy, no intention.
Yeah. How do you I don't want you to give everything away for free, but
I totally will give it all. I'll give it away. Ask me the questions. I'll answer them.
That right there is because over time I've gotten better at it. I'll just have a coaching session here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Over time I've gotten better at being aware. But a lot of it was by mistakes. And then later when I got coaches, for someone that when you said that, it burned something inside of them. They're like, what can they start doing to help manage that, I guess?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is they need to see their thoughts. They need to realize what is their brain offering them. So we repeat 99.9% of the thoughts that we had yesterday. So this is another reason why our results are slow, because 99% of the thoughts, 99% of the same results. That's what you're going to get. So start paying attention. And I also teach my clients, you are not your thought, right? You're not your thoughts. Your brain is a thing no different than your hand. And you can observe what your brain is offering you. Just like you tell your hand, to wave, you can also tell your brain to think certain thoughts that you want, that are in alignment with where you're going.
Gotcha. Okay. So just being aware. I noticed this beautiful, wonderful notebook. Do you talk about journaling a lot? Is what are some of the tools that help people become more aware of those thoughts?
I do a thought download almost every day, where I just write down everything that my brain offers me. Okay. And it's always really interesting. There's intrusive thoughts in there too. Even somebody who's been doing this, I've been coaching, I've been working with a coach and that for a long time now.
I don't think it ever, I think it's just part of that brain mechanism.
It is, because that's its job, is to create
keeping
sentences,
you where you're at.
Well, it's safe, right? Because there isn't uncertainty in your current location.
Absolutely.
So just writing down all of those thoughts, even the weird intrusive ones, get them all down, because then you start to see, you're like, oh, this is what my factory is working on. Okay, I need to change some things in my factory.
Do you find some of your clients are better at writing, some are better at speaking? Because I know there are different times where either I've written it or spoken it out loud.
Yeah.
I'm talking to myself, or
right.
Where you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? That just jumped right out of my mouth. Okay. And then, sometimes it's I don't know what to do with that. Is that really is that really what I believe? Is that a subconscious thing, or is it just something that my brain threw out there,
Well, and it can be all of those things. And the thing is when you have a thought, if your brain offers you a thought and it looks for evidence, this is where our bias come into play, right? So it looks for evidence in the environment to prove that thought true. And your brain releases dopamine. You get a little zing, a little gold star for proving the thought true. But your brain never asks the question, is this a valuable thought? Does it serve me? Is it harming me?
I just want to reinforce that your brain gives you a shot of dopamine, all the good feeling vibes.
Yes.
For thinking those kind of thoughts. So that's huge right there, just to have that knowledge moving forward. Yeah, sorry, that one just grabbed my attention.
I feel like it's the key, though. I feel like it's the key that everybody should know, is that you have to pay attention to what your brain is looking for evidence for, because your brain is writing your reality. How you and I are experiencing this moment right now, it's not the same.
It's going through our filters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, our wins and our wounds. And so we both have our filters on and we're experiencing it differently. But if you don't pay attention to the thoughts that your brain is offering you and the evidence, it's looking for that particular evidence, that's your life. You're creating your results with that. You're creating your life with that.
So with that, with the dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Because, we all love it, right?
Yeah. Oh,
some of us maybe more than others.
Yeah.
How do we start to retrain ourselves to not do things that seek that, if that makes sense?
Well, I think we use it to our advantage. So instead of, I think we seek the dopamine. But I think we choose the thoughts we want to look for evidence. One of the things...
Ooh, I love that. Sorry. Yes. Okay, let's do that. Yes.
One of the things that I ask my clients to do, one of the first thing I ask them to do is I say, your homework is to go and look for red Honda Civics and tell me how many you find. And I think I picked a red Honda Civic because I think my husband had one. I found out later it's a Camry, not a Civic, but whatever. I'm not changing it now.
That sounds like a husband.
But it's difficult. Like, I don't know if they don't make them. There's just not a lot out there.
Okay.
And so it's really interesting finding out how my clients do with that assignment. And I'm just going to give you the answer. The reason I ask them to do that is when they are like in their car, they could be having a really important conversation with their spouse about their children, about their life, making a decision, should I leave a job or whatever. And then all of a sudden they're going to see a red car and it's going to stop them instantly from thinking the thought that they were. Look at the red car and say, is it a Honda Civic? And I'm like, if I can get your brain to do that, you can get your brain to do that. You just have to decide what is your red Honda Civic. What is important that you intentionally want, that your brain will interrupt its whole thought process to go after and look for.
I like that. I really do like that. When you first talking about it, it reminded me of a way, but that's even I've never heard that way to help interrupt the pattern that way. So I love that. I'm going to think of my red Honda Civic. But just retraining the brain of what to think about. I remember working out. I do enjoy working out, but I remember hearing people talk about like a runner's high. And I'm like, what is that? Like, okay, whatever. But I kind of told myself, you know what? I want one of those. I want a runner's high.
Yeah.
And so anytime I'd go to the gym and I feel just like a little bit, but again, I told myself I wanted it. So now I'm looking for any evidence of that little bit of dopamine. I don't know all the the physics of that.
Yeah.
It's dopamine or what, but I'd start to feel good. I'm like, oh, there it is. And so I kind of joke around saying that I train myself to have a runner's high. So it's so powerful because that alone, just the reframe. I try to do that in other areas of my life, but it is different. Like when it's something that naturally comes easy, like, oh, I like working out too a little bit, but I'd really, really like to enjoy it more. But I think having a coach is so much more powerful when it comes to things where it's like, okay, I know I want to do that. I know I need to do these things, but I cannot find any source of pleasure in doing that. And I think that like right now, that's the hardest thing for me is to like really, how can I find to do that? And so I love that. I'm going to be giving you a call. So,
well, and just remember, the thought has to be believable to you as well.
I have a very good imagination.
You can't go from like like if you hated working out.
Yes.
Let's say you hated working out. You can't just tell your brain, oh no, I love working out. Like that's the thing with reframing. Reframing is a really powerful tool for our brains, but it has to be believable. Like you can't go from one extreme to to another. That's why it's important to like maybe pick a neutral, like I am going to work out.
Yeah.
Like I hate working out. You stop thinking I hate working out because you're creating the emotion with the thought I hate working out.
Yeah.
And if you want it to be tolerable, you got to get your brain. Yes.
Slow change of language is a good beginning.
Yes. But it has to be believable. Like, don't like.
And I think, because when I first got into self-help and stuff like that, I was like positive. And I still like, it's got to be positive. It's got to be positive. But there is that factor, I think, of when you hate working out and you go, I love this. And there's that other voice like, no, you don't.
Oh, it's
and
bullshit.
That's
your brain is going to call you out. Like it's like
that's the one you
bullshit.
really look into.
I'm not going to do it.
And it'll start listing all the reasons why you don't. So it's
it's just going to reinforce the pattern that's already there. You have neural pathways that are around I hate working out, because it causes discomfort in your body, and your brain is trying to protect you from discomfort. So it's not going to naturally want to.
Yeah.
Unless you get a runner's high. but that is the benefit. Like that is a reward.
Yeah.
So if you're like, I'm doing this for this outcome, well, because we take action from a place of emotion or potential emotion, like always. So that's why you like to work out, is because you think you're going to be able to create that. It's the potential emotion that you will feel. It's that runner's high that you may get.
Yeah. And I like that because, this is called badass in action. And I was actually going to, ask you how do people just start taking action, moving forward on it? And I know it's doing the work.
Yeah.
But are you a believer at all of just go out and do the thing, or are there different steps?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think, even the littlest bit, even go out and find like one little thing to do. And it doesn't even have to be the right thing to do. Like everyone's like, you have to make the right decision. It's like, no, you make a decision, and then until that decision no longer serves you, then you make another decision. Like that's what life is about. But I think you do have to take action, because that's the only way you're going to know if you're on the right path or not. Like you can't, like you can sit here and ponder and wonder, but your brain isn't good at uncertainty, because it's always pulling from the past to try to create a future that it doesn't know. So that's why you got to step into it.
And that's why the 99% of because it's pulling from the past. That's huge. I love that. What does it look like to work with you? Are you accepting clients? What is that? Is it online, in person, all of those things?
Yeah, so I do 6 months, because I just found, like, the science says, right, that it takes about 6 months. And I laugh because some of my clients, 3 months in, like they're like, I can hear your voice in my head. So I'm like, I'm in your head. But that's when they start to become the coaching voice in their head, is around that 6 months. So I do a 6-month contract, and it is a weekly 1-hour Zoom call. And I do it, well, not Zoom, Teams, whatever. It's an online. It's face, it's because I need to see their body language, because their brain is lying to them to keep them safe. So I got to see it. Like, you didn't even actually believe what your brain just offered you. Like, your whole body cringed, but you were, you said.
Isn't that funny? Like, it's such a, like, now that I pay attention to it, it's like I'm very kinesthetic, so I can feel it. Like, if I'm listening on a phone call or watching them, you just feel like the energy drain from them on certain things. Like, that one's not lighting up so much.
Yeah, like you had a total energetic shift on that. Like, what you want to talk about that? What's the resistance? Yeah.
How open are people to getting called out on stuff? Like weekly, when you get called out over and over again, how does that kind of show up?
That's interesting you just asked that, because my brain offered, it's none of my business, how they, take it or not. And the reason I say that is because my job as a coach is they come to me and ask me for something. And I have to hold space and hold the belief in their future self before they do. Because the moment they make that decision to make that change and to move into that, their brain is going to give up so much resistance that I have to be stronger. I'm going to have their back even when they don't. And they're going to think I'm arguing, but I'm arguing for that future self. Yeah. And they're arguing to stay comfortable, stay in the cave. I just want to stay in bed all day. Yeah. Just be efficient. I'm going to end up here tonight, so why leave? Yeah. That's what our brains want to do.
That's what they want to do.
Yeah,
conserve
but no,
that energy
we're not.
And stay alive.
Joy comes from the pursuit. The pursuit of happiness is what brings us joy. It's that progress. That's what we love. It's when we become stagnant and stop growing that we stop feeling happy.
I love that.
Yeah, so if you're sitting there and not changing.
Well, I remember, like, something come up, and I think there's a big lotto jackpot or something, and I do dabble a little bit because it's it's fun. Yeah. But I do remember, like, at a point when things were just rocking and rolling and aiming for a goal and going for it, I didn't want to buy a ticket because at that particular point I didn't want to jump ahead. Like, I wanted to keep going, and I felt like too much. And that could be interpreted so many different ways, right? Yeah. There could be a money block there. That can be but I truly was like, I'm enjoying what I am doing right now. Yeah. And I think that, like, $1 billion is going to change your life a little bit, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Regardless of
yeah.
how you want to stay the same or not, it's going to have an effect on your life.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't want that right now. It's just really interesting. So that is so true. Like just being able to follow that path and the alignment.
But your why, what a beautiful why, like when you were like, you can assess it so many ways. The only way I'm going to assess it is with your why. You said, I didn't buy a ticket because I was on a journey that was like so fulfilling. That's such a beautiful why that I don't think that there was any limiting beliefs in that space at all. That's such a clean why. And that was probably made you feel pretty amazing.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It did because like I grew up, my mom was a gambler and like that was the thing. Like if you wanted to make it, you had to win it.
Yeah, interesting.
And I think that's why a lot of us like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not what I want right now. And so that's awesome. Oh, I love all of this goodness.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if you want to get into your podcast and that thing, or I love your podcast. So
I don't know if I'm going to do much. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do much of that, at least this year. It was important for me to do that one major interview. Just because I think it was so much around mental health.
Oh my
and that's
goodness,
just what I'm here for is like, I want people to live better lives, and then the butterfly effect, like that person's life changed. Yeah. And then what he does, he used his platform to change other people's lives and reach them. I just felt like it was such an important message that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
it
got me, it really, it opened up a lot of stuff. And I appreciate you putting that out there. And, I think you have a natural talent to it. But if it's not in alignment with where you want to go, I completely understand. But very powerful. Very, very powerful stuff.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share? Any other tips or how people can reach you if they're like, you know what, it's time? Because I'm telling you, getting a coach, one that's that powerful and there for you and weekly is a game changer. Like absolutely. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. You will start noticing things about yourself. You'll see your patterns of how you're trying to hide from yourself. And without that consistent person to hold you accountable, we can go back to hiding really quick. So if you are looking to get with Michele, what's the best way they can reach out to you?
LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yep. I'm just Michele Christopher on LinkedIn. That's one of the easiest ways to find me.
Easiest way. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. One quick tip, because we do have a lot of female entrepreneurs. That's kind of where we're, geared toward.
That's my favorite.
What's something for someone that like me, I just saw a post like 6 years ago, I think it was, where I was wanting to do interviews and I was so scared. My first one was a written one. I sent my friend like these questions and she answered them and I was like just horrified. Yeah. For that person sitting there, fear, I don't want to go out there. I don't want to do the big thing. Do you have any piece of advice for them in starting a business?
Fear is uncertainty. That's all it is. Fear is uncertainty. And the way that you overcome that is by action. Just take one little bit of action and get curious. I think that oftentimes people, we can do it scared. We can have a little bit of uncomfortable emotions and do it anyways, but you don't have to suffer. So just get curious about it. What is it that I'm truly afraid of? And if you're going to give, 20 minutes to doom and gloom, like, this can go poorly, then you should give equal amount of time to what if it is this is the best thing that ever happened. You got to give equal time to both.
Yes.
I mean, you deserve it.
And
everybody deserves
do the best one at the end.
Yeah.
So you leave on that note.
End with that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it was an absolute pleasure, Michele. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This was lovely.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Again, make sure you follow her on LinkedIn. Check her out. And that will also be in the show notes. And continue being badass. Thanks for tuning in to Badass in Action. Drop a quick note, DM, comment, or review, letting me know the moment that hit hardest or the questions it sparked. Your insights fuel future episodes. Until next time, stay badass, keep moving, and remember, you got this.